Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Wednesday, November 2nd. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Earlier this week, BC unveiled a generous new deal for family doctors that will eliminate the disliked fee-for-service payment model and substantially increase physicians' earnings. SaltWire columnist Paul Schneiderite spoke to Doctors Nova Scotia President Dr. Leisha Hawker to ask if she's optimistic current negotiations on a new master agreement with this province will improve the situation for family doctors here.
I think the current government is equally concerned with primary care and equally supportive of fixing the primary care system. So we're quite optimistic about that. One thing we're also advocating for is something that's been an issue for many community-based physicians over the past few years, which is overhead. And so British Columbia, you could see from their model, is also providing some funding for overhead support. And I think that will make a difference as well.
And you can watch Paul's full interview with Dr. Hawker tomorrow in his column on saltwire.com. After 2 weeks of voting by the Halifax Regional Police Association, the results were released this morning on the confidence or lack thereof when it comes to their police chief. Over 96% voted no to the question, "I have confidence in Chief Daniel Kinsella's ability to lead the Halifax Regional Police." Voter turnout was over 83%. Staffing has been raised as one of the major issues. The association's president, Sergeant Dean Steinberg, told SaltWire members of the force are frustrated with what they see as a lack of strategic direction, leadership, and the ability to provide the membership with what they need for work. And we'll have more from Steinberg when he chats with Sheldon McLeod coming up in the newscast. And speaking of police, one man was taken into custody after a weapons complaint in Halifax this morning. Police say they were called to the Frederick Avenue area. The Frederick Avenue between Alex and Hillcrest Streets were closed to traffic but have since reopened. Police say there is no threat to public safety. There's no word on the suspect or what happened. One woman is using her own research to collect data on anti-Asian racism in HRM. She sits on the HRM's Women Advisory Committee as vice chair and arrived in Halifax about a decade ago. She says she's personally experienced anti-Asian hate, which often includes microaggressions, and it's gotten worse during the pandemic, which began in China.
I believe that it's very important to ensure Asian community members like myself and also any racialized women, non-binary and gender diverse people feel safe in the public space of Halifax.
According to a 2021 report by Chinese-Canadian National Council, at least 1,150 anti-Asian attacks were reported in Canada between February 2020 and March 2021. Nearly 60% of the victims self-identified as women. Most of the attacks were verbal harassment and almost half occurred in public spaces. Last May, she took this information to the Women's Advisory Committee, then to the Executive Committee. She said the municipality needs to collect strong and reliable gender-based data, and resources are needed to respond to the anti-Asian hate to support the safety of women, non-binary, and gender-diverse people of Asian descent in Halifax. We're learning some sad news about Daniel Paul, who's a Mi'kmaq historian, author, and human rights activist in Halifax. 83-year-old Paul is well known for his different editions of his book, We Were Not the Savages. He's fought both prostate and lung cancer that went into remission. And in a recent phone call from the doctor, he was told the cancer has spread to his liver and he only has 3 to 6 months to live.
I made a statement to the effect I intend to live until I die, and I always accepted my mortality.
Paul has spent his days pushing for the eradication of racial discrimination and has been a champion for First Nations communities, work he hopes continues once he's gone.
I would like to see people learn about one another, okay, and don't look at another person's cultural practices as being barbaric and not inferior to your own. And this is what caused the horrors that were visited upon Indigenous people.
1 month ago, the 4th edition of Paul's book, We Were Not the Savages, hit stores. He says he appreciates that Nova Scotia has become a much more inclusive society in the past 30 years, but there's still more work that needs to be done. It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Sergeant Dean Steinberg about the union members' lack of confidence in Halifax Police Chief Dan Kinsella.
But it says when it comes to a chief receiving a vote of non-confidence, it usually means that there is dissatisfaction with the chief's performance, and the idea is to seek to remove him or her from office by expressing no confidence in the chief's leadership. So what does the membership want to see happen?
You know, I think our mandate last night was very, very clear from the membership. They want to see the chief. If he was not willing to step down, that he needs to be removed from the position. They just don't have confidence in the ability. This isn't, simply a personality conflict or, a couple of things that occurred. This is 97% of your organization says, we just don't have confidence that you can lead us where we need to go. And there's no way to recover from that, right? What they're actually saying is they don't believe the chief has the ability to be the chief, that he has the ability to make the correct decisions and do things. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. So I don't know how you come back from that.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of SaltWire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
Here's part 2 of my conversation with head coach Kyle McLennan from the week's U18 Majors, who are currently in first place in the Nova Scotia U18 Major Hockey League. I'm always curious to know how coaches view their team in terms of a team identity. 13 games in now, 10 wins, 2 losses, an overtime loss. How would you sum up your team's identity?
I think we have a natural instinct to want to push and create offense. I think that comes with just some of the skill set that we have throughout our lineup and some of the creative minds that we have in all positions. For us now, again, the big part is we want to play with the puck. We want to have possession. We don't want to give it up. And I think now for us, it's just being connected as a team defensively has really been another way that we've been generating offense. And obviously that has a two-way effect where it helps us defensively as well. I think as cliche as it'll be, is that we want to be a really well-rounded team. It's fine to score a lot of goals and create offense, but there's going to come time in a season where you have to win close games or low-scoring games, and you have to be comfortable doing so.
For more information about the league, standings, statistics, and schedule, you can visit the Nova Scotia U18 Major Hockey League online. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now to see what's coming up in the forecast. We're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, the sunshine was back today here in HRM. It was an absolutely beautiful day, but we had a brisk northwest wind, putting a bit of a chill in the air. Good news, though, in the upcoming forecast if you're a fan of sunshine and looking for some warmer temperatures. This evening, we will have clear skies and the temperature near 9 degrees with a northwest wind of 15 to 30 kilometers per hour. It will be chilly waking up on Thursday morning, starting the day near 3 degrees, mainly sunny and sunshine as we go through the afternoon on Thursday, looking like a great day with a high of 12 degrees, which is actually closer to normal where we should be for this time of year, but temperatures will be trending upwards as we head towards the weekend. During the weekend, we could see some temperatures in the high teens and low 20s, could be record-breaking. The sunshine also sticks around as we head into and through the upcoming weekend. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. We leave you today with a warm welcome home to 2 Navy ships that arrived back in Halifax yesterday after an overseas deployment. HMCS Kingston and HMCS Summerside are back after a 4-month mission in the North Atlantic and Baltic Sea, part of Operation Reassurance in support of NATO. Well, that's all for now. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.